It's time you need to start closing your wallets. Not because you're afraid of spending, but because we're actually going to take our power back. This is the next chapter of the homeowners rebellion. Now, I am going to do a whole episode about paying off your mortgage early. We definitely need that. I want to start giving you all resources and keys to actually owning things and building your wealth, learning how to use your insurance for your benefits so it's not like it's a burden, but you're using it as a resource for you. That's pretty much, what we're here for, right? But I want to tell you all this. My last couple of videos, I forgot to do something in those videos. And the spirit in me was like, listen, you have you're doing your YouTube channel and you did make a declaration that you will never forget this group of people. And my last, I think 3 or 4 videos, I didn't mention this, but I have to go back to this, you guys. I got to bring this to the stage, you guys. This is something that's near and dear to my heart. If you see something, say something. Report it. Report child sex trafficking. Even if you know they may not be sex trafficking them, but you got to report children that are being taken advantage of or molested by an adult. This is very important. We have to make it normal for children and adults now not to be afraid to tell the truth of what has happened and to uncover where it's coming from. We have to stop this, guys. I ask you all to please report suspected child trafficking. Call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888. Every voice matter. Every child deserves protection. And I can tell you all, I'm not like, okay, I'm like this huge political person. I do vote. But I can tell you something. I have to vote for my best interest at this point, right? And I have a duty, and this is me. I have a duty to protect these children from pedophiles, from child sex trafficking. And I do believe that in our current administration and previous administrations, I believe that those that are very wealthy are the main ones that are behind this. I believe very powerful men have always used younger women like they should not have. And when I say younger, I'm saying underage, and they know. And I'm looking at now over Prince Andrew. He's renounced his throne. He's given all that up because he knows he fought it for a long time. But see, once you're that way and you're not held accountable, it's going to come back around again. Or other people will begin to speak out against you. And that's another thing of what I want people to understand is that, with our children and child sex trafficking, that's unacceptable. We can't do that. And so I decided, I was sitting around on Friday, and I was saying, okay, what am I going to do on Saturday? And it came across my screen, the No Kings March. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go out there too. I want to go out there and I want to protest. I want to protest for our children. I'm tired of people covering up what has happened to our children. And it hurts me because you have victims out there. And these victims are scared to come forward because nothing ever happens. How do one person in the Jeffrey Epstein case get convicted and go to jail, which is a woman who encouraged the women to come, who solicited the women to come, but most of the men did the act and none of them are held accountable. I said, you know what? Hold on. I am going to go to my first protest. I went and I joined the No Kings protest. Here's a photo that I took when I was there. Oh my gosh, I love this one. That was one photo. We were in Fayetteville, Georgia. And this is one that we took. And let me tell you guys, it was all color. It was all races. It wasn't just one race there. It was a whole mixture of people protesting. and coming together for a common cause. Now, I came for a particular cause because I know who I represent. I know who I have made a commitment to represent, and everybody was there for their own representation, and I just felt so good. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, and I'll get to our episode. When I went out there holding up my sign, and I'm like, it brought tears to my eyes to actually be a part of something, to do something. Instead of watching and seeing other people doing it, I went and participated. And I'm going to tell you also what it did. When I tell you it brought tears to my eyes, because it's like, when I think about my ancestors, they had to do much more than what I did. My ancestors had to sneak, had to run, had to go on the Underground Railroad hoping they don't get caught. Because if they got caught, they got lashes, they got hung, they were raped, they were killed. And I'm like, it took courage. It took a whole lot of strength back then. And then even to go out yesterday was courage. To stand for something. I don't care what you can go ahead and stand for what you want to stand for. But it makes you feel great to be a part of something that you believe in and that need a change. I'm like, I have to be honest. I know they're trying to erase our history. I'm Black. I'm a Black woman. I know. I can see the whole setup. I'm not blind. I can't turn a blind eye. Like I will say on some of my videos, when it comes to these children, their mothers know most of the time. And their mothers will get mad at them for telling them that their husbands or their boyfriends are doing something to them, and they'll get mad at that child. That's unacceptable. You guys, if we're going to stand, we got to stand for something. And I was so proud of myself to go out there and stand. My son and I went out. And again, like I said, it was a huge mixture of people. It just wasn't one race. It was all of us coming together. And I was very, very proud of that moment. Okay. But anyways, I'm going to get back to our episode. And I hope you haven't turned off. But most of the time, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Most of y'all don't even stay when I even talk about our children. Most of you all just click off right there when we go to talking about our children. And that's unacceptable, because you have children, you have nieces, you got grandkids. You guys, it is a real thing out here. You're going to have to stand up for something. Oh my gosh. You'll fall for anything. You got to stand. You got to make a stand. You got to put that stake in the ground and say, this is my stand right here. This is it right here. And that's what I had to do. I didn't even know what I was going to do on Saturday. But I'm going to tell you, it came. I was like, what am I going to do? And it came across my screen that No Kings. I was like, oh, I'm going to a No Kings protest. And it was right down the street from my home. And it was a lot of us there. I was so proud. But anyways, let me get back to our episode. We're talking about breaking a cycle of overspending, overworking, and underbuilding. And it starts right here. And underbuilding is, we're building in places that don't give us anything. Most people build a wardrobe of clothes that have no value. Shoes, a lot of times, have no value. We're putting things in our homes that have no value. So that's what it's called, underbuilding. We got to start building in the right places. And if you notice how, no matter how much you make it, it never feels like enough. How many shoes you buy, how many clothes you bought. And I'm going to tell you another thing. I bought some shoes years ago. And I have a number of pair of shoes, and it's the truth. And I don't need to buy another pair of shoes. And I went to go put on this boot. And it's two pairs that has done this now. I went to go put on this one boot that I haven't worn in maybe a couple of years. And I went to church with them on. And by the time I got to church, my heel was gone. The bottom of the heel was gone. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was telling my friend about it. And he was like, yeah, your boot dry rotted. All those shoes up there you got up there, you don't even wear them like that. I don't. Honey, you give me a good pair of tennis shoes. Give me about 2 or 3 of those. A good pair of tennis shoes and a little heel, a kitten heel, because I don't like the high heels anymore. The kitten heels, I'm good to go. But I have too many shoes, and they're starting to dry rot. And when I was in that mindset, it just didn't feel like it was enough, And another thing that we do, we'll get a raise. And somehow that money, it disappears. We'll get a raise, and next thing you know, you go buy a new car that takes up that little raise that you got. Yeah. The bills stretch, the shopping bags multiply, and that little bit of extra cash gone before you even can touch it. Just from that little raise, because you already said, well, I'll get a raise. I'm gonna buy this new car. I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that. You guys, we have to get out that mindset. We cannot be kingdom builders. We cannot be owners of things if we're in that mindset. And I'll tell you another thing, it's not because we're just careless. It's because we've been conditioned and taught that more means success, which is not true. Actually, as I have gotten older, I realize I don't even need that much. I'm so serious, you guys. If I don't have to go to someone's assignment, my tights and my tennis shoes and my tennis racket at this point is almost pretty much what I need, until I realize, oh my gosh, I actually have to put on some clothes today. I honestly, I'm like, gosh, I really don't need much. I don't need much to really make me happy. And that is the truth. Because the more I had, like I said, all those shoes I have, it didn't stop my business from going down, or assignments ending early, or it didn't bring any pleasure to my bank account either. Yeah. So more really doesn't mean happiness. The new means of happiness, that credit equals power. We need to take our power back, you guys. I'm telling you guys, but it's time to close our wallets and open our eyes. I was on another video. I was telling about my haircut I got. I went, and I was so happy to have someone right down the street from me to cut my hair. I didn't even ask her how much it was going to cost. She charged me $150 to cut my hair and shampoo it. No conditioner, no dye. I got my own hair. Thank God I did, because my bill would have been $200. But she washed my hair, no conditioner, cut my hair back into my normal shape that I like, and it was $150. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't even want to condition myself just because I have money. I think I can afford to pay $150 for a haircut. No, every dollar I have from here on out has to be counted. And that's like when I paid that $150 when I left, it's like the spirit was speaking to me. It's like, now you know you were wrong for that. She wasn't wrong, but you were wrong, because you're trying to build something. So I was like, okay, no more. Even a friend of mine was like, no, you didn't. I was like, yeah, I did. And she was like, don't you ever do that again, because there are enough stylists around her that do not pay, that do not charge that. It's like, yeah. But anyways, they call it lifestyle creep. As income rises, so does the lifestyle. See, that's what happens. That's what happens. We feel like, okay, it's okay for me to pay $150 for a haircut. It's not okay. It's not okay. My lifestyle, or how much I pay for something, should not go with how much money I make. Right? Now, if I want to go buy me a luxury car because I can afford it or whatever, that's fine. But do you own things? Do you have, and I'm not just talking about home ownership, because normally you don't own it, because if you stop paying for it, you don't own it. They're going to come take it. So you actually really don't even own it till you pay that off. But you have to ask yourself, just because I make this much money, does that mean that I should pay $150 for a haircut with no conditioner? I didn't even sit up on the dryer to get my hair conditioned. That's the mindset I don't ever want to be in again, no matter what type of money I'm making. Every dollar counts. And I'm telling you all, it's like the spirit in me was saying, you can't do that anymore, because you're trying to build something. And every dollar you have, it counts. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell y'all, anytime we get a little raise, we'll upgrade our car, the newest phone, the home, the wardrobe, thinking we moving up. But we're not moving up. We're just moving in circles, the same circle. But you get a little bit more money. You tell someone, oh, I make $120,000 a year, but you already ate that up with that new Lexus that you're trying to show off. Yeah. Let me tell you something. The world sells us more as freedom, when really more just means more chains. They put more chains on us, and it's an emotional trap. When we're stressed, we shop. When we're lonely, we scroll. When we're insecure, we swipe that card just to feel something again. You guys, homeowners, we got to get out of this. We have to get out of this. We aren't buying things. We're buying moments of relief, and that's how they get us. You'll see those commercials to make it seem like, oh, if you buy this, you're gonna feel better. No, you only feel better for that moment, because whatever you buy, it does get old real quick, and people move on. They move on. Like this video will be moved on from a week from when I drop it, a week from now. That's how easy people move on. So don't try to impress people. The impressing is impressing yourself, that you built an empire, that you change your mindset. I'm tell y'all, social media makes it worse. Every post says, you're behind. Every ad whisper you deserve this, and before you know it, we're broke and branded. Yeah, you're broke and you got a Louis Vuitton. You're broke and you got, I don't know, whatever jeans, the hottest jeans going on, whatever they call. But you're broke, but you're branded. You're broke and branded, broke and branded. That's how they keep us hooked. Corporations doesn't want us. They don't want you content. Your dissatisfaction is their profit. Anytime you're dissatisfied, like my shoes in my closet, I have no need to go buy another pair of shoes. And that is the truth. That is the truth. I have enough. I do. But I do want my new pair of tennis shoes to go play tennis in, because the ones I play in got a little hole in it. So it is time for that, because I've worn those out, right? But I've worn those out to where I have to go get a new pair. I've had those for a couple years now. But this is how we stop the cycle. I've used those shoes until I got a hole at the bottom, and still will use them if I can tape up that hole, because they're so comfortable. But anyways, so, and that's what they do. They spend billions learning how to trigger your fear of missing out. They call it marketing. I call it manipulation. Every time you say no, you interrupt their business model. That's why this rebellion matters. We got to close our wallets. We got to break the cycle. Here's how we close our wallets and break free. And then I'm going to let you go, right? First, name your triggers. Know the moments that push you to spend. Stress, boredom, loneliness, comparison. Don't compare yourself to anyone, because you really never know what's going on behind closed doors with anyone, right? Listen, next time you get ready to make a purchase, pause. Don't buy it. Give it at least 24 to 72 hours. Then ask yourself, will this build me or will this burden me? Right? Yeah. Okay. So next, let's see. Your wealth. Let's see here. Before you pay anyone else, pay your future. Auto transfer a small piece every check into an investment or savings account. I don't care. Just start there. I know they say, don't put in a savings account. Just start there. Because if you haven't been saving, just starting a savings account even will take you to another level, right? Create your own rebellion fund. Money that exists to grow you and not drain you. Start putting that money somewhere else, to where somebody say, I want to buy a piece of land. You want to do it together. Maybe you got 1,000, 2,000. Oh yeah, I got that. I've been putting money away in my rebellion fund. There you go. Change your circle. If anyone around you spends to impress, you'll feel the pressure to perform. Get around people who value peace over purchase. Don't keep those friends. You don't need that. Don't need it. And listen, faith and freedom. Proverbs 22:7 says, the borrower is the servant to the lender. Every unnecessary swipe is another link in the chain. But faith teaches contentment. They don't want us content. They want us dissatisfied. And that's why we keep going by more and more and more. Me personally, faith says I have enough. Yeah. Wisdom says I'll multiply what I already have. Look at what you have and start multiplying. This isn't about living small. It's about living free. When you close your wallet, you open your potential. This is your move up challenge this week. Track every emotional purchase. For every moment you almost bought something to feel better. Write it down. And then next to it, write one alternative thing that brings peace instead of debt. Prayer, a walk, a call to a friend, silence. Oh my gosh. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do a lot of things in silence. A lot of things in silence. I love my peace. I love to be alone sometimes in silence so I can hear clearly. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Peace doesn't cost anything. But if you got a lot of stuff around you that is taking your peace, it's going to cost you to change your mind to get rid of it. All right, this is my closing message. Homeowners, it's time to close our wallets. We are not consumers first. We are creators. We are not the product. We are the power. From this day forward, buy less, build more, own everything. And if this message hit home, drop in the comments. I'm closing my wallet. Put it in the comments. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe to Beyond the Claim, the adjuster's voice to homeowners, for more truth, faith, and financial freedom. Yes, I'm an adjuster. I'm a claims adjuster. I've always worked from home with homeowners, from rich to poor, the richest to the poorest. I don't see all y'all behaviors. I've spoken with you all. We can come together and we can change this. Together we're breaking the cycle and building something the world can't repossess. It's ours. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this as well. I want to get to 20,000 homes by the end of the year. And I know it's a huge number because I'm just starting, but it's okay. But I believe we can get to 20,000. And until next video, you guys take care. And again, close the wallets. Close them. Let's break this cycle. Let's join this rebellion. Have a good day.